This new tool allows you to use Claude to basically explore different designs and illustrations in seconds and running multiple different agents in parallel and seeing the results literally appear in front of your eyes. And here are literally 3 different agents working in parallel on the same task. And the outcome is still a bit janky, but just the experience is crazy. My name's Harry. I lead design at KnowUnity, one of the biggest education companies in Europe. We help 28 million kids globally with their homework in school. And in my off time, I love experimenting with these tools and sharing some of the stuff that I find fascinating. And this is definitely one of the coolest things I've seen in quite a while. So stay tuned and I'll bring you along. This was what Figma Make came up with last time. I actually kind of like the pixel art kind of design. I like the colors. We have some issues with the buttons that don't really work, like the layout's broken on mobile. So let's see if we can fix it. Maybe let's see what other directions Claude can come up with. So let's actually ask it to do that. Let's come up with 4 additional variations for a mobile screen that will serve as a simple cooking timer for pasta. There's some additional context to the left. Let's spin up a couple of different agents and bring this into a couple of new directions. Let's maybe preserve the pixel art style and the color scheme roughly, but explore on all other dimensions. Fair enough. And then let's have, I guess 4 different agents trying to do this in parallel. And let's see what happens. This is probably my 3rd try doing this, so you are learning with me. So on this front, we can open it up further. What's happening? It's having a look at the context, it's having a look at the screenshot. It's basically Claude Code under the hood. So I might do a different tutorial, but you can probably find better ones online already, like on YouTube. This tool is called Pencil, and I think the integration is actually super straightforward. So I'll just focus on the actual use case and getting you excited about it so you can then go ahead and figure the rest out for yourself. And what's happening here? Oh, okay, wow. Let's actually collapse this. We have now 4 different directions, and I think it's going to be spinning up 4 different Claude agents, and every single agent is going to be working on a different screen. So it's kind of like watching 4 different design colleagues working in the same Figma file at the same time on the same topic, and then having a look at which directions they take, from which angle are they approaching this issue, seeing if there's some ideas we can take from Phantom, for instance, or other ones we can take from Coral, other ones from Star, and then at the end come up with a better outcome. So let's see what actually happens. Phantom added some hearts, which I think is a neat touch, right? Because it's a very gaming-like, retro-inspired look and feel that we went for. Quite cute, and it's actually creating SVG art by hand, apparently from scratch. Interesting. Anyways, what's the second one doing, Coral? I think she's already done. Oh no, not yet. You can select the pasta type. I like the way that the pasta shapes are done. I can even recognize the different pasta types. Quite neat. You can set the time. Fair enough. You can have a look at the cooking progress. Seems overkill because we have the timer at the very top. And I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be an oven? Anyways, cool. We'll check back later. And on the Onyx side, I find this so fascinating and so entertaining to look at. Anyways, what's happening here? Select your fighter. Okay. Fair. Interesting angle. So it's a pasta quest. Different color scheme. It gave it a bit of glow. It gave it more of a of a really gamified approach. I think here you even have the controls, and you have like an arcade feel to it. And so you have a place to insert coins and a leaderboard at the bottom. Okay, why not? Very, very interesting. And what's the last one doing? What's Star up to? She's okay, also like creating pixel art from scratch at the top, like custom SVGs. Actually quite nice ones. It's called Nana's Kitchen Timer. Appreciate that touch, quite neat. And then extremely pixelated digits. I wonder what this actually is. Is this, oh, okay, it's an actual text that you can modify. Interesting. And what else? Okay, you have the same different pasta types and stay closer, play it a bit safer. But it's quite neat. I quite enjoy this one. Let's check back with Phantom. What's he up to? Spent quite a bit of time like on the SVG top part. Interesting. And if we zoom in, okay, what actually happened here? The pasta pet. Interesting. It's cooking. I'm guessing it might animate it. Would be cool to actually have them bring it one level further, right? And like map out the different states. What is it going to be looking like once the timer's up and those kind of things. But I love it for exploring different ideas. And the doneness meter, okay, raw, al dente soft mush. I like that touch. Actually, I would probably steal that copy. And the doneness meter is also pretty neat. I enjoy it. Pasagotchi, I actually love that name. So smart. Anyways, on the second one, if we dive deeper, Pasta Boy, very Game Boy inspired. I like it. Okay, here you have the top timer. I actually like this font that it shows. What is it? Space Mono. Why not? Sure. And I love these ones. I would actually probably also steal this flat style for different types of pasta, because I'm guessing that we could even create 20 different pasta types in this way quite neatly. Custom time fair. I think this is an overkill having this one and that one on the top, but fair enough. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I might ask it down the line. And well, the Game Boy controls. I wonder what these would actually do, like those buttons serve any purpose. Fair enough. And I think this one's probably my favorite. The Pasta Quest Cooking Arcade. Is Panda actually the avatars actually look I have like small elements that actually mirror the pasta type. So this one looks a bit like Panda. This one looks a bit like Fusilli, actually quite a bit. It's a custom edition in the shape of fusilli, which I guess makes sense. Spaghetti, fair enough. A meatball spaghetti warrior, I think makes sense. Why not? I actually really like this one. This one's hilarious. I think it would make me smile and giggle every time that I would open up this app. Cooking time, fair. So I might actually take the top part, but like kill the bottom ones. Spaghetti warrior, al dente mode. It's not really mode, but fine. And progress. It also went for like a double progress bar and timer. Interesting. And these ones, is this a joystick that you could actually interact with to increase the time? That would be funny. I wonder what would happen if you clicked on start, if like a coin actually, we could animate a coin then. That's, yeah, fair. And the high scores, I guess another way to use this could be to actually map out which pasta you did and how long you cooked it for and how happy you were with it, maybe. We could also map which sauce we made, which would be fun. But anyways, apart from that, 247 games. Gosh, yeah. And this one, the Nonnas one, final one, actually like the top part of this. Like the SVG is actually very creative. I can picture this like being an Italian Tuscany country house. It gives me those vibes. And even like this is like very, very neat. Love it. Anyways, and here, apart from that, this bottom part I find like very basic, but it would probably do the job. And Nonna says, I actually love this detail. A small suggestion or like a small tip, we could probably have multiple on that front. Quite a few things we can take from it. Let's try doing another iteration. So I'll take this one, paste it over there, and take the best parts from each, I guess. Well, no, let's do it another way. Let's actually create a new chat and say what we want to take forward. Let's take forward the select your fighter at the very top, because I love the idea of having different fighters at the top that you could select from. It should likely be a carousel or something, so additional ones should appear from the side. Also keep the high score, but instead of it being a high score, let's actually map which pasta we made, for how long we cooked it, if we overcooked it or if we didn't. Also add the Nonna Says suggestions from the variation 4, the Nonna's Kitchen Timer. I actually like that title. On a font side, let's go with the one from variation 2 for like for the counter, and let's make sure to only have the timer. I don't think we need a progress bar. It seems like overkill. And let's explore variations where we have actual useful buttons. For instance, like a joystick that would enable us to increase or decrease the amount of minutes. And then a start button, maybe it could actually insert a coin. Let's explore variations there as well. So again, let's take those best elements from variations 1 to 4 and try a second round where we take the best things forward. Okay, let's see how that goes. So we started, let's just to recap like how wild this is. We started with a simple idea, okay? So, hey, we are making a simple retro pixel art cooking timer just for pasta, just for fun. This was like the initial visual screenshot that I gave as reference, and then I asked 4 different Claude Code agents to come up with different visual directions and different ideas. We analyzed what they did, tried to take like the best from each single idea, and then now I'm waiting for Claude to come up with iterations based on my feedback. So actually start to see it happening here. What's it doing? It's reading through the structure of the past ones, understanding the different variations. Okay, and now it's going to create the main screen frame for placeholders, and then probably spin up a couple of different agents to again work in parallel, and we can have a second round of design battle, I guess, and see what we end up with in the end. And then, like, why are we doing this? We're doing this, because it's, well, I'm doing it because it's fun and entertaining way to spend my Saturday, apparently, but also because it's just a great way to think about the creative process, like think about different ideas for a specific screen or flow, like app overall. And we can then like take that, because it's much faster. It's never gonna break, right? You're never gonna, like in Figma Make or Lovable, sometimes you have like an error building. It's also much faster and much more entertaining. So it's a cool way to play around on the UI side. And then because it's actually very neatly built, you can very likely then take this and give it as context again to Claude Code to actually then build this out. So it's a very, very fun approach. And here apparently they decided to work in parallel, like hand in hand on the same V5. Interesting. I'm not sure if they're actually then going to be building out additional variants or not. Maybe it's just, a bug. Anyways, fascinating to see as well, like a different approach, I guess. Just spawn up different agents and work on the exact same screen until you get that single screen pixel perfect. Why not? So what's happening? The fighter, they could just have taken like the exact components which we had at the top, I guess, and just added a bit of a carousel effect to it. But I guess it went a different route. It's getting a bit crowded and cramped at the top. I think it's a bit overkill. Too much text, too much going on. But let's see. Normally, if I weren't like actually recording this, I would probably, while I record my thoughts, run Granola or something, and then just give the transcript of Granola directly to Claude. So it's actually just my job is just becoming super entertaining. I just basically have different different virtual designers do my job for me with like some guidance. Then I sit back and watch, comment on it as if it were a video game, and then, just iterate. And I can do the same thing. You could like think about doing the same thing for multiple features in parallel. And you could also like use this to, for instance, give design feedback. So I tried it before and it worked surprisingly well. I might do another video on this, but it was also like very good at actually taking a screenshot and then with like some guidance and like some initial thoughts, lay out directly in Figma what worked in a given design and what didn't, and visually, right? So you could actually give back a screenshot in Slack instead of a bullet point list that's just annoying to read for everybody. And not only that, it can also then like take all of those comments and provide me with like 3 alternatives that actually fix the suggestions which I made. And that's just completely wild. And because it's running on Claude Code, you could also spin this up in, for instance, we spun up OpenClaw in our office, and so I could actually just tell it to, while I'm in the subway, basically explore. I could send it a screenshot of an app that I like and be like, hey, let's explore how we could use this in our app, like the concept of like the top bar, I don't know, disappearing after some time, whatever it might be. And then tell OpenClaw like, hey, create a new .pen file, and together with a couple of different, spawn up a couple of different agents and come up with different designs for how we could actually do that at New Unity. And if I then lay on top of that our design system and I build it inside of a repository somewhere, this could be extremely powerful, and that's so exciting. Anyways, before calling it quits, I might do videos on this down the line as I explore this tool further. But let's have a final look at this. Pasta Quest, Cooking Arcade. Okay, this is too much. Let's kill all of this. Select your fighters, sure, but actually I wanted the fighters from the top. So let's see if it does it. Actually, let's see if it breaks if I modify it while it's working on it. This is too much. This is overkill. This is not what I wanted. Anyways, controls. This is actually quite neat. This is a bit messed up. Yeah, okay. So very roughly it did what I asked it to do, but I would probably then like ask it again in a separate chat then, I guess, to fix a few things and just iterate and create additional variations. Or if it's too slow, I might just do it myself. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it as fun as I did, and I'll see you soon.